Hey guys, Aaron here. Before I start this video, I do want to apologize for my voice. I've been sick. I've caught a common cold and I've been taking medication for it, like Mucinex and ibuprofen. So bear with me. In this video, I want to discuss the types of oils to use for your knives. So I've got two subject pieces here. I've got a stainless steel cutting knife. And yes, stainless steel does rust if exposed to water for a long period of time. And I'm not sure what kind of steel this is. I found this out in the woods. But each one has there's a total of three different oils. I've got Vaseline. VAS stands for Vaseline. So this portion here has Vaseline. And then I have rendered fat. Now this, I'm not sure specifically what kind of fat this is, but it is natural. I picked it up from a Kroger, and it does contain like an artificial flavor agent, but that shouldn't affect the steel at all. And then the one here is mineral oil that you can pick up. It's used quite often as a laxative for medicinal purposes. So first off, I'd like to talk about why people use oil. For all you knife experts and knife enthusiasts, of course you know that oiling a knife is crucial for its survival as a blade, especially in high humid environments or saltwater environments. It's very important. And I've tampered with a variety of oils over the last 10 years. And I'd first like to start with the mineral oil. Now, just before we start, well, this video's been going for a while, but I've soaked these knives in water for 24 hours. So they've been exposed to levels of water. And I don't think they've been oxidized yet, so they're not rusting. You can see a little bit of rust formation up here on the unexposed, unoiled part of the knife. The first one I have is mineral oil. It's relatively cheap. You can pick up a 12 to 14 ounce bottle for $2, $3 at your local pharmacy. If you go in the laxative section, you'll see that. Mineral oil is a liquid form, so it's not pasty like lard or Vaseline. And you can apply a thin coat. Now, I get a lot of, not me personally, but I've seen a lot of positive reviews on mineral oil. It won't go rancid, it has no smell, and it's food safe. You can use this for food. Obviously, you don't want too much or you'll be, you know what, later on the toilet. Now, I had coated this knife in a generous amount of mineral oil. And as you can see, being soaked and submerged under water for 24 hours, it's not really beaded the water very well. And these rust formations that you see now were there before I performed this test. So this is just part one of part two of what we're going to see once these knives start to dry out. Now, mineral oil has its pros and cons. You know, obviously the pros, like I said, is it's food safe, it's cheap, and according to a lot of articles, it works very well. But at the same time, its cons is that it evaporates and it's very runny. So you have to reapply this pretty often. And I like to carry in my gear, my bug out bag. Even though I'm a primitive survivalist, I still have a bug out bag in case stuff happens here. So, you know, there's a fire in the house or something, I have to get out and I want all my gear with me. But I use mineral oil a lot of the times only for pocket knives because the swivel point where the blade opens, that helps lubricate it and makes it open easier and prevents a lot of dirt and debris from clogging it up. So we'll wait on that to see if it starts rusting. Now we have Vaseline. When I first applied this, it was beating water up very well. Water was just running off it like nothing. As you can see, being submerged for 24 hours, it's actually not beaded up that well. But Vaseline is also just like mineral oil. It's very cheap. It's relatively food safe in small amounts. And the plus about Vaseline is that it's very thick. So it goes on like a paste wax and it sticks to the blade. Now, I've heard and read articles that it's whipped. So there's going to be air bubbles in there that trap moisture. All this other stuff. Some people say it's good, some people say it's bad. I've used Vaseline for years and I've had no issues with it. Vaseline is pretty good. The only downside of it, like I said, is that it's whipped, so it may trap moisture. As far as it affecting the blade, the chemical composition and whatever, I don't know if it does that. If you guys know, let me know in the comments section and all that good stuff. Now, on the reverse side, we have lard or animal fat. Now, I've used animal fat since I started collecting knives and using knives, and it's the most realistic material to be using because let's face it, you know, if you carry mineral oil or Vaseline with you into a survival situation, or if you're purposely going off grid to live for an indefinite period of time, you're eventually going to run out of Vaseline and mineral oil. While you can still render animal fat, such as a possum, deer, all kinds of animals like that. Any mammal will yield some sort of fat, but unlike a rabbit. Now, as you can see, this has beaded the water very well. It's a paste wax. It's almost like a paste wax. It's very thick. Now, there's a difference between tallow, lard, and regular oil. Like bear oil remains liquid versus deer tallow, which becomes very pasty and candle-like, like a wax, which is why it's used a lot in primitive lamps and primitive candles. Now, we're going to wait 24 hours to see if any oxidization occurs. But I personally like to use rendered fat. There's some people that say, you know, it becomes acidic once it goes rancid, which is true, which could create a patina on your blade, which will just benefit your blade. But we'll see, guys. I mean, leave me your comments in the section, your comment in the sections below. Tell me what your favorite oil to use for a knife is. And let me know, because I'm still learning this stuff. I like to stick with one kind of oil, you know, and fat seems to be my favorite. I use the fat not only for my knives and axes, but I use it for my bows. You know, I'm a bow maker, so I like to use as natural material as possible. And back in the 1800s, 1700s, animal fat was very common. That's all they had to use for oiling their knives, and it works very well. Mineral oil, it's cheap, it's food safe. It is a little runny, it will evaporate, but it's been proven to work really well, you know, as far as a lubricant or as to prevent rust. And Vaseline, that's the #1 guy oil that I'm thinking about. I'm saying, well, let's see what kind of qualities it has. You know, Vaseline so far has been proven to be good. It's beating up water relatively okay. Anyways, guys, leave me some stuff in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you know. All right, take care.